I'm Rebecca Brand, and today we're going to make a homemade pumpkin pie from that porch pumpkin you have left over from Halloween. It brings me great joy to show you how you can use your leftover pumpkin to make the most delicious pumpkin pie. I've lived on a ranch for years and years. We grew many acres of pumpkins and squashes of every variety. For a pie, you can use any kind of pumpkin. In fact, my favorite are the white pumpkins, but don't let your Halloween pumpkin go to waste. Let me show you how you can make that into a delicious pie. Don't listen to those people that tell you you can make a pumpkin pie only from sugar pie pumpkins. That's not true at all. I've experimented with every single kind of pumpkin God's created, and I've got just the recipe for this. The reason this recipe is so successful, it's the way you roast the pumpkin. You want to get all that moisture out of the pumpkin and bake it for a long enough time that it's super soft. Then you have that winning, beautiful texture for a perfect pumpkin pie. The ingredients for this dish are white sugar, brown sugar, cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, eggs, whipping cream, a pre-made pie crust, just for simplicity, and our star, the pumpkin. We're ready to cut our pumpkin. Cut this guy in half. Put him down, flesh side down, on a baking sheet. I put foil on it because it's going to make it easier to clean later. He's going to go in a 400-degree preheated oven. Now cook him for an hour and a half. Leave him in there. I think that pumpkin's ready. Let's check it. To make sure, we stick a knife in to see if it's soft. That is soft. Look at that. Wow. Very soft. Very good. I'm happy with that. Now this pumpkin's going to make the best pumpkin puree. This recipe is all that Halloween is. I love the spiders and the black cats and everything of Halloween. I have a little black cat. Let this cool first so you don't burn yourself. Because what you need to do is peel the skin off the pumpkin and get the flesh out. I got this game, pin the tail of the black cat. My cat did not like it very much. My cat's really skittish. Halloween is a special time for me because it's all about the harvest of the season. I grow my own pumpkins even at my house, and I buy them. The carved pumpkins on your doorstep make darn good pies, so don't let them go to waste. This pumpkin puree can be used for all kinds of things. Muffins, pancakes, not just pies. This pumpkin looks like it's going to be enough for about 3 pies, so I'm going to save the puree and freeze it. So after it cooks, you're going to see a lot of water come out, and that's good. By roasting it a very long time, it concentrates the flavors. You want that water to come out. If you have some spots of your pumpkin that aren't as tender, like right here, for some reason it's just not as tender as the rest, I'm leaving that. I only want the really soft stuff in my puree. Okay, bye-bye, Mr. Pumpkinhead. He's done. The next step is to puree that pumpkin really soft. You can do it with a masher if that's what you have, but it goes faster for me in the mixer, so that's what I'm going to do. A tip is if you do this when the pumpkin's really hot, you're able to get a really smooth puree. I've done it with cold pumpkin left over, and it's just not the same. So if you can handle that hot pumpkin, you're in good shape. I just feel so good about making porch pumpkin pie because I don't have to waste my pumpkin from Halloween. I got something about that waste factor, I don't know. So there we go, that's what a cup and a half looks like. And I have all this left over to make another pie. Or pancakes. So for that 5-pound pumpkin, you get 3.5 cups of pumpkin puree. Good fact to know in life, huh? Okay, let's get our pie crust ready. Today, I'm just using those ones that you buy at the grocery store in the refrigerator section that are already done for you because this pie is about the filling. But I gotta say, I got issues with the manufacturers of these crusts. They never make them big enough for my pie pans. Because I have those deep dish pie pans. So, you know, I always have to do this. I put a little extra flour on it, and I roll it out. I hope they see me do this. because I am registering a complaint today. Okay, good enough. That takes me 3 seconds to do, but about 10 minutes to clean up. So that's my issue with this. So stick it in. Okay, so unfold your pie crust. Center it. You see what I'm saying? It barely covers the edge of that pie plate. We want this to look homemade. So we're gonna crimp the edges. This is how you're supposed to do it. You take your thumb, crimp, crimp, crimp. You're pinching it. And you go around the whole thing. These little fingers are your little tweezers. You take your little tweezers and you go around your thumb. That's my method. Not perfect is better. I think it's more charming that way. Okay, there you go. Isn't that great? So for our filling, you can use a mixer, but forget it. I'm going to use a bowl. You don't need a lot of expensive equipment in your kitchen to make great food. And I'll prove it to you with this show. You just keep watching. So this starts with 3 eggs. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Whip them up. Let's add our 1/2 cup of white sugar. 3/4 cups brown sugar. I love that brown sugar, I'm telling you. I created this recipe myself when I had all those pumpkins. And that brown sugar really adds something to this. In goes that 1.5 cups of our homemade pumpkin puree. Yay! And this is how you make your homemade pumpkin pie spice. It's 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and 1/2 teaspoon nutmeg. And again, a 1/2 teaspoon ginger in there. You know, it's a beautiful spicy pumpkin pie. That's what kitty cat. That's what I'm saying. It's a beautifully spicy pumpkin pie. And hey, if you don't have that sugar pie pumpkin, why spend so much money and pull your hair out trying to find it? You just use your porch pumpkin for your pumpkin pie and you've got a delicious pumpkin pie. Now we add our cream. This is 3/4 cups heavy cream. You can use 1/2 and 1/2. And if you're in a pinch, use milk. But this makes it very rich and just a beautiful custard. Pumpkin pie is really made with a custard inside. So that's what most of these ingredients are, except for the pumpkin and the spices. It's a really simple recipe and it's so traditional. So when you see those things called a custard pumpkin pie, they're all custard pumpkin pies because they all have that same custard base in them. Now pour that beautiful pumpkin pie base into that pie shell. Into the oven it goes at 350 for 55 minutes. It's been 55 minutes. Let's check it. Can you see the jiggle? It's going to have a little jiggle there. Let's check it with a toothpick. In it goes. Out it goes. Clean as a whistle. We're good. Wow, it looks so beautiful. It's the color of harvest. I see a little bit of the nutmeg sprinkles on top. This is a beautiful homemade pie made from those pumpkins you had on your front porch. So I'm cutting this, even though it's warm from the oven, but I like warm pumpkin pie. Some people only like it cold. Personal preference. When you cut it hot, it gets a little mushy on you. Wow. This is best topped off with homemade whipped cream. And this is on my channel, so look for it. It's the best recipe. The cat's gonna join me. You know, subscribe to my channel. Let's keep cooking together. Comment and tell me what you think of your porch pumpkin pie. Oh. I am not kidding. That is phenomenal. Yum.